So, as many of you may know, my favorite director of all time is Steven Spielberg, and with the release of his new movie Disclosure Day, I figured it would be good to do a ranking of all 36 of Steven Spielberg's movies. I'm going to go pretty quickly because 36 movies is a lot of movies. I don't want to make this video like 3 hours long. But he's my favorite director. I love most of these films. Heck, I'd even say there's only one truly bad film on this list, and most of them are great, some of my favorites of all time, and I love Spielberg, so without further ado, let's get into things. At number 36, we have the one Spielberg movie that I would truly call bad, 1941, a World War II comedy film where he takes a bunch of the cast of SNL and he just gets really goofy and over the top. You know, when Spielberg made this, he was on top of the world. He had made Jaws, he made Close Encounters. He thought he couldn't fail. He thought he could do anything, and he just kind of threw caution to the wind with this movie. And he just kind of went nuts, did whatever he wanted, didn't put too much thought into a ton of stuff. And it turned out a big mess that's just, it's not funny, it's not engaging. It's got its moments. It's definitely got some very well-staged sequences, but overall, it just doesn't work. At number 35, we have a sort of Spielberg movie. We have The Twilight Zone, the movie. There's a lot of controversy surrounding this film, a lot of big issues. The one section that Spielberg has in this movie, Kick the Can, feels very out of place in a Twilight Zone movie. On its own, it's like a nice little short about growing up and stuff like that, and old people, but it's got a nice little Jerry Goldsmith score. It's well shot, but it feels very out of place from the rest of the movie, which otherwise is very horror-focused. Number 34, we have Always, a Steven Spielberg romance movie, which has some nice moments, a good John Williams score, got a good cast with Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter, John Goodman. And it has a nice little touch on the afterlife. It's got Audrey Hepburn. It's got some nice moments and some emotional moments. But the issue is the whole second half of the movie doesn't really work because it's trying to make you root for a new romance that just fundamentally you don't care for in the slightest. But some of the early stuff isn't bad. At number 33, we have The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Now, you'll see how high Jurassic Park gets later in this list, but this one just doesn't work for me. I don't really like the characters that much. It just kind of feels like more of the same. It feels much more action-brained. Now, I do love the San Francisco stuff. I think that's awesome, but this is mostly just meh for me. Not bad, but just fine. Number 32, we have the BFG. This movie feels like it's kind of rushing too much through the plot. It feels like Spielberg isn't brave enough to delve into the darker aspects of the story, but it does certainly have its charming moments. Mark Rylance and the girl in the film, they have some sweet bits. The whole bit of Buckingham Castle, that's very, very charming and funny. And the visuals are pretty nice, but overall it just feels like it doesn't go as far as it should. It feels very surface level. 31, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, I don't think this is a bad movie. I think there's a lot of great fluid action sequences, a lot of great cool stunts. It's very Indiana Jones. It's got a great flow to it, but it just gets a little too crazy in the third act, and it's just too much for me. At 30, we have Hook. Now, Hook is way too long, but it's a pretty charming story about not growing up. It's got a good cast. Spielberg said this is a movie where you're just kind of going more whenever he felt like the film wasn't working, and that certainly shows. But hey, Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, they're a lot of fun, and great score by John Williams. Number 29, we have The Terminal. Now, this is a pretty decent film, a sweet movie about a guy who has to live in an airport terminal for like a year and finding love and friends and happiness, and it's not bad. It's just fairly, like, fine, you know? It's just some sweet moments, some sad moments. There's nothing really bad about it, but there's nothing like, oh, this is a great movie out of it. You know, this is a sweet little wholesome time and nothing really more. 28, we have War Horse. Now, War Horse definitely suffers from being overly long. It suffers from the second half being very anthology, but it is a cool World War I story, the only World War I movie Spielberg made, and it definitely, there's a lot of, I think this has a very solid blend of heartfelt moments, dark moments. You get a little bit of hopeful E.T. Spielberg, and you get a little bit of dark Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan Spielberg. Definitely doesn't work as well as any of those movies. It's very overlong and messy, but it has its moments and its charms. Number 27, Empire of the Sun. Now, this movie also suffers from being overly long and just kind of dull, but it's got a great young Christian Bale performance, wonderful John Williams music, and I think the first third of the movie and the last, like, 20 minutes are very, very strong, and there are some emotional moments. It's just overly long very often. At number 26, we have Amistad. This has got a great cast. You've got Matthew McConaughey, Djimon Hounsou, I probably butchered that name, Anthony Hopkins, Morgan Freeman, a great cast. It's a nice story about, you know, slavery and, you know, men fighting to free these people. It's an interesting legal case. It just feels like something that Spielberg hasn't totally mastered yet, and it's a little slow at times. And it's something that he would eventually master in Lincoln, But for now, he just totally doesn't got the rails yet on like a historical legal movie. But it's definitely got some great moments and a great cast. At number 25, we have Ready Player One. Now, I enjoy this one quite a bit. It definitely suffers from not being able to decide whether it wants to criticize pop culture or embrace pop culture. And it's very much just trying to be an entertaining movie. There's not a ton there with the themes. But whenever it does delve into interesting themes about legacy and stuff, it's fun. Ben Mendelsohn, Olivia Cooke are really, really great. Strong visuals, fun pop culture references. Just a fun, surface level, fun movie. Number 24, we have Munich. Now, Munich is a struggle. Munich at times is a bit of a slog, but its themes of peace, about Israel and Palestine, are incredibly interesting and poignant. Great performances, great visuals. I just think it could be a little sharper, but this is one that'll probably do better for me upon rewatch. At number 23, we have Spielberg's debut feature, or his first movie ever shown in theaters, a movie called Duel, which is very simple. It's just a man being chased by a truck. Simple as that. It is a man being chased by a truck. He's driving out. It's kind of a proto Jaws. It's a cool little thriller. Nothing too special, but I enjoy it for the most part. And it's very, very... I don't know why I say it for the most part. It's a great thriller. For a director's first proper movie, it does a hell of a job. It's really, really good. So I would definitely recommend Duel, if for nothing more, to be like, hey, this Steven Spielberg guy's got some good stuff coming for him. Number 22, we have his second movie, The Sugarland Express. Originally, I had this lower than Duel, but the more I think about it, the more I like it. The Sugarland Express is a very, very sad and also sweet movie about a couple that wants nothing more to get their kid back, and they're kind of in the right, kind of in the wrong, but they get the whole country behind them, kind of encouraging them to do worse things. It's very compelling. It has its very, very touching moments, a heartbreaking ending, a great performance by Goldie Hawn. I definitely recommend checking this one out. Also because, well, first off, Goldie Hawn, but second off, because it's his first collaboration with John Williams. Number 21, we have War of the Worlds. This is a dark, intense movie. It's one of the closest movies Spielberg ever gets to horror. It is thrilling. Tom Cruise is great. It's goofy. It's well shot. The third act is interesting, to say the least, and the movie isn't, totally crazy, but it's definitely interesting to see post 9/11 Spielberg kind of be a lot more dark and dour. 20, we have The Post, a nice little newspaper drama. Definitely a good companion piece to All the President's Men about early 70s, revealing Washington Post, revealing a lot of information about Vietnam that they're not allowed to reveal. It's got Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep. It's very, very good. It's very intriguing, and I love the line by Tom Hanks in this movie. That's the only way to exercise the right to publish is to publish. That's a great thesis statement for the whole movie and the importance of the truth. At number 19, Minority Report. You got Tom Cruise and a Philip K. Dick conspiracy thriller with a whole great cast. You got Colin Farrell. You got Max von Sydow. It is really great. Very, very blue, but great VFX, great thrills, and just a fun story about government overreach. It's very great. It's a great popcorn movie. 18, Bridge of Spies. We are now in the upper half of this list, and I really got to speed things up. Bridge of Spies is a great movie. Tom Hanks is a man in the 50s, Cold War thriller about just about humanity, the value of humanity, and how even when we're conflicting with other people, we need to remember humanity. Very strong. Mark Rylance is great. Number 17, The Adventures of Tintin. It's a great, fun, fluid, animated movie. Probably better than any Indiana Jones sequel. More spiritually Indiana Jones than any Indiana Jones sequel. Or post Last Crusade. Better than... You get what I'm saying. But it's great. I love this one. It's just a fun, entertaining animated film. And Andy Serkis is really, really good. Number 16, you got The Color Purple. This is interesting for Spielberg. It is his first foray into big historical dramas, which he's been doing ever since. But it's very emotional, very, very strong. Whoopi Goldberg is in it, and she is great. Oprah's in it, and she's great. Just a strong cast about, and just a very poignant tale about the South. It's very long, but it's powerful, and it's well done, and great music by Quincy Jones. At number 15 and onward, this is my top tier Spielberg stuff. This is gold, all of it, and I do love all of this. Number 15, you got AI, artificial intelligence. This lost me here and there, but it's a very well done story with a lot of great Kubrick stuff about a robot boy who wants nothing more than to be loved. And it's very strong throughout. It's got some great dystopian vibes, but man, those last 20, 30 minutes just kick you in the balls of your emotions. It is powerful. It is emotional. It is sweet and heartbreaking all the same. Haley Joel Osment is freaking incredible. Check it out. Then at 14, we have his new film, Disclosure Day. I still got to process this one more. The ranking could change after another rewatch, but I think it's great. I'm mostly going to skip past this one. Go check out my other video of Disclosure Day, but good classic Spielberg, but not really what you'd expect. 13, Lincoln. I talked about this one earlier with Amistad, but when it comes to political discussions in courts and stuff, in a historical film regarding slavery, this is where Spielberg really does hit his stride. You got the incredible Daniel Day-Lewis, the great Sally Field, the great Tommy Lee Jones, just a fantastic across-the-board ensemble cast. I mean, it's just a great story about the power of persistence and fighting for what you believe in no matter what. Number 12, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the only movie of Spielberg, or the first movie of Spielberg's that he wrote just entirely himself, based on an idea by himself. Interesting stuff, a powerful story about determination and how one can maybe go insane chasing their passion, and it definitely reflects a lot on Spielberg's own home life. It's got some incredible sci-fi moments in those last 30 minutes and the ending and the score by John Williams and Richard Dreyfuss and everything, just holy heck and heck balls, amazing. 11, West Side Story, one of the best, maybe the best musical film of the 2020s. It is so well shot and well lit and well staged, and just I found myself uttering like holy F and S, you know, like every musical number, because it's so well done and it's dark and it's emotional, and the cast by Ariana DeBose and Mike Feist and yes, Rachel Zegler, all three of them are amazing, and it's just great stuff. I wish it took place over a bit longer of a period of time so the romance hit more, but it's one of Spielberg's best. Now going into the top 10, at number 10, Catch Me If You Can, a fun, thrilling movie about Leonardo DiCaprio going into check fraud, being chased down by Tom Hanks. It is fun, it is entertaining, but it is very deeply sad as well, and it's so stylish and engaging. It's got a great jazzy score. This is one of his best, and I love it. At number 9, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. This one's maybe a little too high, very biased by nostalgia in my head, but I love Indiana Jones. It's just a fun adventure of him going out in India and fighting some bad guys and freeing some kids, and it's got some great action set sequences, amazing intro, amazing bridge sequence. It's just a blast from beginning to end, and I love Harrison Ford. Number 8, Saving Private Ryan. This is an incredible World War II movie, one of the best intros to a film. It is gutting and dark and brutal and heartbreaking, and it is intense, but it is a fantastic film, and it is one of the best representations of World War II ever on screen. Tom Hanks, Matt Damon, John Williams, just everyone is cooking with gas in this movie, and it's just fantastic, and it is his tribute to the soldiers, and it's really great. Number 7, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. This movie is incredible. I mean, it takes everything you love from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it adds in the wonderful dynamic of Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. Their back and forth, their touching moments. They are so great together, and even if it's not necessarily as fresh as Raiders of the Lost Ark, it takes everything you've loved that movie and just adds more to it. So it is just one of the best blockbusters and one of the best sequels of all time. At number 6 is E.T., the Extraterrestrial. One of the great children's film of all time, one of the great sci-fi films of all time. It is sweet, it's emotional. It is a film about two lost people finding each other. Amazing puppet work. In the last 30 minutes, John Williams is doing like god-level stuff. It is insane, and I am just in tears by the end. Incredible, wholesome, heartfelt, heartbreaking, sweet movie. This is a tough one. Number 5 is Jaws. Now, this is a hard one to put so low because Jaws is one of the greatest movies ever. It is thrilling, it's emotional, it's well made, and they put so much work into this film, and it is just, it's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, you watch Jaws. You know how good Jaws is. I don't need to say anything more. I adore Jaws. At number 4 is Schindler's List. I watched this for the first time recently, even though Spielberg is my favorite director, I've just never found the moment where I'm like, okay, this is the moment I'm going to watch this movie. But I sat down and watched it recently. 3 hours of just a gruesome depiction of how horrible humanity can be, but also how strong and brave and hopeful it can be. It is depressing and heartbreaking and just horrific, but there's just true moments of light. But man, those final moments with Liam Neeson in this movie, I was crying throughout the last 20 minutes. And not like light tears, like full-blown sobbing throughout the whole end of the movie. Incredible work. Insane stuff. Wow. Top 3, I mean, I love all these movies. At number 3, we have The Fabelmans. I am very personally connected to this movie. I love Spielberg's story about his history and his family, and the drive that art and filmmaking can put into you, and just the passion to create no matter what, and how it can hurt you, but how you just need to go for it. And incredible performances and visuals, and just learning more about Steven Spielberg and his life. It's not just a movie about him, though. It's a movie about anyone who can relate to these characters. It's beautiful and it's emotional, and it's the greatest tribute to his career and filmmaking that he could have ever made. And that last scene is outstanding. Number 2, you got Jurassic Park. Once again, one of the greatest blockbusters of all time, but also just a great movie about corporate greed and humanity's oversight and how we tend to get ahead of ourselves and how we can't control nature. Life finds a way. Amazing VFX, incredible score, and some of the greatest moments ever put into film that fill you with awe and terror and just incredible. But at number 1, my favorite Steven Spielberg movie of all time, Raiders of the Lost Ark. What can I say about this one? Raiders of the Lost Ark is outstanding. It is one of the best movies ever made, one of the best blockbusters ever made. It is just a incredible thrill ride from beginning to end with some of the best action sequences and musical score ever. It is a great adventure movie. It's a great romance movie. It's a very classic film. I mean, there's so many sequences in this movie that are so thrilling. And these 2 hours go by in a snap because you were just constantly engaged every second of every moment it's on screen. You turn on this movie and you can't turn it off. It is just one of the best films ever, one of the most engaging films ever, and I adore it. Which, even though it's maybe not the objective best movie on this list, it is the movie on this list that I will most often just be like, hey, I want to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I watch it, and I'm just like, incredible. But yeah, that's my ranking of all 36 Steven Spielberg movies. Very, very long video. Apologize for that, but thank you for tuning in. Coming up soon is going to be my review of Spider Noir, and next week is my review of Toy Story 5. Hope you guys like the video. Check out my Disclosure Day review, and I'll see you all later. Bye for now.